Oh man, you about to see how my granddaddy gonna show you a over 100-year-old recipe on how to make sweet potato pie and crust from scratch.
It's really good.
Let's show him how we made it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Can we show him how we made it?
Yeah, go ahead.
How many sweet potatoes do it take to make two pies, granddaddy?
Depending on what size they are.
Well, how many pounds?
Approximately 4 pounds. If you're real large potatoes, you don't need but two. Medium potatoes, like I said, depends on what size they are.
Are these considered good size?
That's medium size, not real large and not real small.
What if somebody didn't clean the potatoes? Who got you cleaning potatoes like that?
I always clean everything before I cook it, so I wash the potatoes before I boil them. I boil mine. Some people bake them, but I like to boil mine. And I get better results when I boil them. Right now, I'm fixing to boil my potatoes. I get potatoes approximately this size, maybe 4 potatoes.
As long as they add up. If you're doing two pies, what?
Yeah.
Because I think you say it's hard to just do one pie, huh?
Yes, you can do it, but material-wise, it's easier to make two for me. So we're gonna start these potatoes to boiling, and they'll make 2 9-inch pies, potato pies.
How long you usually boil them for?
We boil them till they get soft. It'll take approximately maybe 45 minutes. Okay, right now we're starting the potatoes to boil, and we're gonna wait until they get soft, about 45 minutes, and then we'll go from there.
Is there a reason why you put it on full instead of high?
Yeah, I don't like to start anything off on real high, so I put it on medium high. And on this stove, I put it on number 4, and then it get to boil until they get done.
Okay. What made you not put it? Because a lot of people, when they want something to boil, they'll put it on high. What started you where you don't put it on high?
I put it on medium high. I don't start anything on real high.
Is there not a reason for that?
Well, to me it is because unless it's something you're gonna do real quick, you got a chance of burning your pot. Or something cooking too fast and whatnot. So I just started on medium high and go from there and give it time to heat up and do what it's going to do.
So it seems like if you want to make a good sweet potato pie, you gotta have patience.
Right. It's good. You can't make a sweet potato pie from scratch in 30 minutes, and you probably can't make it in 50 minutes, an hour. You see. Because you got to cook your potatoes, then you got to mix it up, put your ingredients in it. Then once you get all that and you get it ready to go into the shell, if you're going from scratch, you got to make your shell. And it takes time to do that. You make your shell about the same way as you do biscuits, and then you got to roll it out, and then you cook it approximately an hour once you get it in the shell. But that we are coming to, and right now we just wait until the potatoes boil, and we'll come back after that.
What you setting up for?
Now we're fixing to make the pie crust. We're gonna try to make enough pie crust for 2 pies. Okay, we're starting, we're gonna get a half a cup of milk.
So it ain't 3/4?
No, we're gonna do a half. And then we're gonna get the equivalents of 2 tablespoons of shortening. And we're going to mix this up to about a
What if somebody wanted to use all-purpose instead of self-rising? They shouldn't do it?
Then they would have to put baking powder in it. See, because all-purpose flour doesn't rise, you see. Self-rising, it already has that ingredients in it.
So the difference between all-purpose and self-rising is baking soda.
Right, baking powder. There's a little difference in baking soda and baking powder.
Oh, okay.
You see, the half a cup of milk make just about approximate enough to make 2 pies, since we're only making the bottom crust. And if you're making something like a fruit pie where you have to put a crust on the bottom and the top, then you would need a little more. But we only making enough for 2 crusts.
So a half a cup of milk and 2 tablespoons of all vegetable
Or
shortening.
and then we'll mix it with enough flour to come to a batter, something like a biscuit batter.
So it seems like it's like an art. You just gotta keep doing it till it feel right.
Well, if you got a half a cup of milk, then it'll come out to whatever, to that amount.
Ah, so you use the milk measurement.
The milk measurement will bring it to the amount that you want.
So what does a batter feel like? Do you look? Is it a feeling or is it a look?
Well, it's just like a biscuit batter, and you just keep mixing it until you get it. Once you get it to the batter, then you put the flour on it to make it the way you can roll it.
Okay, so it seemed like you're saying it's a filling.
Yes. You make it just the same way as you do biscuits, handmade biscuit.
Do you remember who the first person was that taught you how to do this?
Well, I used to look at my mother do it, but she didn't really teach us back then. I mean, we looked at it and then we just kind of picked it up, you know. And each person, they may do it a little bit different, you see. But as far as the biscuit part, my mother made biscuits every day, you see. So, and we go from there.
So back then, did they have all-purpose or self-rising, or she had to mix it all with the
Well,
baking powder?
well, in some things she used baking, but mostly we use all self-rising. But then as far as the shortening, we used lard back then, you see. So
Oh, so instead of the shortening, what? So instead
lard,
of the all vegetable shortening, y'all use lard.
yeah,
So
that's what lard is. Lard is a shortening itself.
how did y'all get the lard?
From the pig.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Yeah. Yeah, we kill hogs. We make our lard from the pig, and we would. And then that was our shortening back then. We had never heard of Crisco back then. Now we're gonna roll our crust. We're gonna batter our rolling table and our roller.
So you got to make sure to also put some flour on your rolling table too.
Right. Now our batter, we're gonna cut it in half and hopefully.
Is there nothing that you be checking for when you're rolling, or it's just
Well, we want to roll it to a certain size and a certain thickness, you see. You don't want it too thick for the pie.
oh yeah, if it's too thick, what might happen?
Well, you can use it, but if the crust is too thick, it just kind of take away from the taste of the pie if it's too thick. So basically you want to taste the pie. The crust is there to hold everything together.
So do you think the reason why people buy shells instead of doing their own crust like they used to is just to save time?
Oh yes, that saves time. So, and a lot of people can't mix it up to get the crust the consistency they want. And once you get the crust, approximately the size of your dish, then you roll your crust up. Then you get your dish, you set it right here. Then you'll bring your crust over and you roll your crust back out. And you got your crust covering the dish. Make sure your crust is over the edges all the way around.
What's the reason you do that?
Well, that'll be the crisp edge on the crust, and you can basically look at that crust and tell sometime when they're done, you know. So once you get your crust down like that, usually we'll go all the way around the crust like this, putting your beautiful edge on it.
like you done did this before.
I did it a few times. Once you get that down like that, you cut your crust with the fork. Okay, that's your crust, your pie shell. Okay. They got a little bit more to go.
So what do you want it to feel like when you say soft? What does
When you can punch them a little bit, but when they're still hard, you know they're not ready. So we'll give it 10 more minutes. Okay, we're going to use lemon in the pie instead of lemon extract. So I'm going to cut my lemon in half. And we're going to squeeze the juice from one half of the lemon. Then we're going to put that into the ingredients in the pie. So we'll squeeze the juice from one half of the lemon. See, right, I got to get my cup. Let me go cup over there.
Is there any reason why you would use a real lemon instead of lemon extract?
Well, I can get the lemon taste better with the lemon than I can from the lemon extract. But you don't want to put too much in it, so therefore you use just, I would say, the juice from half of a lemon. Once you squeeze it, you're going to get the seeds out of it. So when you get ready to put it in your pie ingredients, you only got juice and no seeds in it. They still ain't ready, so give it about 10 more.
So you say cut it off, Granddaddy?
Mm-hmm. Okay, we fixed to mix our ingredients. We're going to put 2 sticks of butter in.
Is that salted or unsalted butter?
It's a salted butter. Been around since 1921.
Well, a little bit older than you, huh?
Okay, that's salted, 2 sticks of salted butter. And we're going to get our potatoes while they are hot. Okay, we're going to drain the water off them.
I see some people skin them beforehand. Is there not a reason why you leave the skin on?
Well, that's my way of doing it, leaving the skin on. And okay, we'll.
What's the reason though?
Well, to hold everything, the ingredients in, I say. Let's see, where's the fork?
Does it not make it easier to peel off?
Okay, to peel mine, I got my butter in there. To peel mine, I try to put it in while it's hot. I split it like that. And I peel it. And the potato melt the butter.
It seemed like the people who leave the skin on and cut it, they probably losing a lot of sweet potato. This right here,
Well, to me, it keeps everything within the shell in the hull. So it's just the way we've always done it. And the potato, the hot potato, I melt the butter. Okay, and we'll let that set a minute, and then all the butter will be melted.
how long you let it sit for?
And let it melt the butter about maybe 3 minutes. I'm gonna put this other potato in there, even though I said that. Let's roll off on that. Make sure the pie is full. These potatoes were kind of odd size, so either you get too much or too little.
It's better to have too much than too little, right?
Yep. The string in the potato, we'll get that out. Now we'll let our we'll start it off on slow.
How long you let this go for?
For about 3 minutes. We'll get us a cup of sugar. After that goes about 3 minutes. And we'll put our sugar right through this hole right here. We let it turn for about 5 minutes because we don't want to put all the ingredients in there while the potatoes are real hot. We just let that turn for about 3 to 5 minutes, then we just shut it down. Now that's been about 3 minutes. We're going to cut this off. Then we're going to, let me get the spoon a minute. At this point, we'll taste it to see if we have enough sugar in it. And as it tastes now, we're going to put about another half a cup of sugar in that.
So you started out with 1 cup,
Yeah.
now you're adding a half to taste?
Yeah. And now that we have that, we'll start putting our flavoring in it. So first we're going to put the juice from 1/2 of a lemon in there. And then we're going to get our nutmeg. And for 2 pies, we'll put 1 approximate teaspoon. We like it spicy. Okay, we'll put our vanilla flavor in that.
But you specifically used the pure. What's the reason you do that?
Well, you can use it. You can use the other substitute, but I just usually like to get the pure kind.
For what reason?
Well, I just like pure things.
Wait, well, you told me you told me a reason. So
Yeah.
is that it? Just because you like pure
Just,
things?
well, I just like that. Others less expensive, but sometimes I go with
There's
other.
still something on there.
Yeah, that's okay.
You said the other is less expensive.
Yes,
What's the reason it's less expensive?
I guess it's not as good. With this right here, about this size of the vanilla is 2 ounces, and it costs about $7 or $8. So I put a spoonful of that in there.
That was a tablespoon.
1 tablespoon. Now we'll mix it more.
How long you gonna mix it?
Now we're gonna mix it about 5 minutes.
Anything in particular you looking for?
Just everything to come to as long as it mixes in, you know. It'll look the same, but we just want it to mix in good. And the potatoes are still hot, so we still won't put our eggs in, so we're gonna still hold off on that. Because you put the eggs in there now, it'll cook the eggs. So we're gonna wait till it cools, then we'll put the eggs in.
I noticed you also be cleaning up while you cooking. Is it not a specific reason why you do that?
Well, that's something I like to do. I like to clean as I go. Some people let it pile up, but I like to clean as I go. Some people let it pile up and don't even clean up when they get through.
Say some people clean as they go, some people clean when they done, and some people never clean at all. Huh?
That's about it.
You say that's artificial?
Yes.
Why you got all the?
And it doesn't cost as much. This is pure. And it costs twice as much. Okay, now we'll let that mix, so we're going to cut it off and let it cool. We'll start back after it cools.
How long does it usually you let it sit to cool before you add the eggs to it?
Oh, it could be about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And in a mixer like this, usually it'll take the strings out of it as it mixes. So when if you mix it by hand, the pies usually be stringy, you see. When you mix it,
Oh, that
like
tool
this,
right there, grab the string.
all the strings will come out with it.
You may have made one with the strings in it?
Yeah, we used to make one before we got the mixer. They'd mix it with the hand, and it had the strings in it. A lot of way back, they didn't pay them no attention.
It seemed like it'll add some texture to it.
Yeah, it had strings. But they didn't have no mixers back. Well, we didn't have one back then. My mom didn't have one. Mix it by hand.
What was her favorite thing to cook?
She cooked it all. She cooked
Oh, she didn't have a favorite?
no favorite. She cooked it all. She cooked breakfast, dinner, and supper. Biscuits every day.
And you were born in 1933. How did y'all keep y'all sweet potatoes throughout the year? They didn't rot on you?
No, we had what they call a potato bank. We'd raise something like maybe 200 or 300 bushels of sweet potatoes, and you put them in a potato bank. You build a potato bank. You dig down in the ground about a foot. Then you would wall it up on the sides. Then you would go and you put pine straw down in there. Then you put a load of potatoes on that. Pine straw, potatoes, until you built it on up. And those potatoes would be in there for the whole year and still wouldn't rot. So potatoes kept back then. So now that it's still hot, we're going to just give it a chance to cool. Okay, let's do that. Well, now that the potatoes has cooled down, we can put our eggs in. We'll put them in one at a time.
What's the reason you put them in one at a time?
So they'll mix good, get all through. That helps them to blend in. We'll give it a little bit more speed on it.
What are you looking for? How long to know that it's ready?
We'll blend it about 5 minutes, and then we'll put our other ingredients in. Clean the sides off. Now we're going to put about a tablespoon of plain flour in it.
And that's to help it rise up?
Yeah, that's when you're baking it. It'll give it a tone to the bacon. Now we're going to put a little bit of milk in there. We're going to put whole milk in it. We had put our flour in. Now we're getting some whole milk to put in. And then we're going to look at the consistency of it. A half a cup, that is.
And what you paying attention to when it comes to consistency?
Well, it looks the same, but what it does is, I think it makes it, it gives it that brown, a slightly tan color on the top of the pie. I like for my pie to have a little bit of color on it. Not burnt, not just light. I mean, I like for a little bit of color to be on it. We'll look at it once we get it out of the stove, and I'll show you. Okay, now that we got our mixture mixed up. We're gonna take it off, and we're gonna put this dish right here. You catch the dripping, and we're gonna fill our pie shells. Okay, we're gonna turn our oven on 350. And we're gonna give it a few minutes to heat up to 350. Okay, now that our oven has reached 350, we're going to put our pies into the oven. On center rack.
What's the reason you put it on the center rack?
But it cook even all the way around. Okay, we're gonna cook it for at least an hour, and we'll go from there.
What he's saying, Agent 69, what he's saying.
Randy, we're gonna give them about 10 more minutes, 10 or 15 more minutes.
Yeah. You see when he's talking, when you send a video, you're supposed to.
How many minutes I got?
Hmm?
How many minutes I got?
5 more.
We'll let it go to motherfucker. Because we could take it out now, you can see.
What you looking for when you open it?
Well, I was checking the crust, really. So
Make sure it's brown?
yeah, that kind of crust ain't gonna cook just like the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So, what, that was about an hour and 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
So we can go with that, hour and 10 minutes. This is the way the pies came out after we cooked it 1 hour and 10 minutes. So now we're gonna let it cool for about 20 minutes. Then we'll cut it and we'll let you see the inside of the pie. Okay, now that the pies have cooled, we're gonna cut it, look at it and taste it, and see what we think. Okay, here we are cutting it.
She said in paragraph 135 of her findings, despite knowing of the risk of violence and knowing that crowd members were angry and armed, Trump still attended the rally and directed the crowd to march for the Capitol. Right? And then she quotes from excerpts from his speech. 17 video, right, where he put out that video allegedly trying to quell the violence, actually endorsed the action.
It's still a little bit hot.
Stop the peaceful transfer of power. It did not condemn the mob, but instead sympathized with them and praised them. It did, however, instruct the mob to go home on 3 occasions, emphasizing to the mob that this was an order to be
Go
followed.
take a bite.
At 6:01, paragraph 189,
Okay.
Trump tweeted again. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and peace. Remember this day forever. Paragraph 190.
Okay, we're gonna sample that.
Trump's tweet justified violence,
That's the bottom.
calling the attackers patriots, and continued to perpetuate the falsehood that justified the attack in the first place.
Good. Good, good, good.
Paragraph 192
We have to take another bite on that.
1 p.m. tweet is further proof of Trump's intent to disrupt the
That's the
election
bottom.
on January
Let me see it.
6th of 2021. And then finally, in paragraph 241, in her conclusions of law, which I think got a lot of the headlines,
My turn.
Now we're fixing to cut a slice.
follow me, Michael Boblock,
For Randy, a nice slice here.
Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where I co-anchored a leading show.
Okay, now we're taking this slice out. This is the side.
COVID-19, RSV, and pneumococcal pneumonia. Vaxassist.com helps you check eligibility and locations. Make a plan at Vaxassist.
Randy, taste that and see if you like it. You like it, Randy?
So you put both your feet in it. Tastes good. Almost as good as my granny's.
Okay. That's the final stage of the. That's the final stage of the made from scratch sweet potato pie.
That's what I'm talking about.
Be blessed.
And highly favored.